how do you measure success? I would say the success of FCADC has been sustaining the jobs that are here and bringing new jobs in. At the same time, valuing what we have. We are a county rich in natural resources. We have a wonderful and abundant pure water supply. We have soils that grow foods that feed many, many times the population of this county because they're so good, such quality soils. FCADC is a very interesting and very successful public-private partnership. Commissioners 25 years ago worked with some community leaders and realized that they needed an entity to help develop a plan for industrial growth in the county. Once I-81 was complete, everybody knew that this county was going to grow, but how it grew and how the industry was going to be brought here was critical.
When I came to the Chamber in 1983, Franklin County was experiencing a significant economic downturn. Unemployment was over 13%, and there was no strategy to move forward. Fortunately, we were able to secure some funding through the Gannett Foundation, through the local newspaper, and what we learned is that we needed to work together as a county. We formed a committee. That group worked with Patel for about 18 months to develop a strategy, and that strategy has turned into the Franklin County Area Development Corporation. What we did is we decided that we needed a private-public partnership. We needed to join forces with the county government and with the private sector to work together to help create economic vitality. At the end of 1985, this happened, and we formed a committee to launch a search for an executive director of the Franklin County Area Development Corporation. I was a part of that committee, and we interviewed a number of people, and clearly Mike Ross was the leading candidate. He had worked for the state, and we thought that he had the connections with the Department of, at the time, Department of Commerce to lead our local effort.
25 years ago in Franklin County, economic development was pretty much a hit or miss proposition. When somebody was looking at coming in and to develop new jobs or to look at site selection, they were pretty much on their own, and they had to go through all the governmental bodies on their own and look for financing. And since that time, since FCADC has come in, they have a friend that can really nurture that process and take them through, walk them through the process of bringing jobs to Franklin County.
People are surprised when they show up and they find out that there's, even today, there's only a handful of us doing this, and it's been a small staff. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on, everybody in our office, and I can't say enough, everybody works hard. We're running a lot of different programs, and be it everything from grant administration to loans to site location to working with education, everything that we do is done with a handful of people.
With the formation of a county-wide organization that could help market the land for CADC, we launched the Chambers 5 Business Park in 1988. And then in 1989, we actually launched secured our first tenant at the park, and working with Mike throughout the whole process, we were able to secure some funding from the state to build Orchard Drive. And I guess once Orchard Drive was built, the rest, I think, is history. Then it just took off, and it was just one project after another.
There's not a better economic use of infrastructure monies for economic development anywhere than Chambers 5. There may be bigger projects other places, but in terms of the impact on our county, on our region, the Orchard Drive and the subsequent development of Chambers 5 is a grand slam in terms of economic development.
Well, that was back in 1990, I think. I was looking for a new location so we could move out of the Fairless Hills operation we had. We had outgrown that facility, And we needed land and we wanted room to expand, and we had looked up and down the Interstate 81 corridor. Well, I'm very pleased with the move. I mean, I love it here.
We've worked hard at, for the last 25 years, is to create a network where we could be the one-stop shop, recognizing that our role is to help businesses throughout all of the county. And we take great pride in being able to go from, you know, Path Valley to Blue Ridge Summit.
Well, they're helping us grow. With the helping of us getting three-phase electric, we were able to get more equipment, run it more efficiently. It's helped us tremendously. Well, we probably wouldn't have grown as much as we have. With their help, we actually are doing quite well.
I remember when Pure Leather announced they were going to close the tannery. It was really a compelling time because there were several hundred people losing their jobs, but there were also a lot of environmental problems. It was really more than a town the size of Mercersburg could ever have handled by itself. But if these buildings had not come down, if we hadn't had a way to take care of this environmental hazard, it probably would have kept a lot of things from going on that have developed in Mercersburg. We trade a lot on our beauty and our charm and our historic nature.
Yep.
Banking as an industry is totally successful based upon the communities we serve and being part of that. I mean, we're the economic drivers, so people need banking, they need us, and I think for the future, for tax bases, whatever, we've got to be part of that. We lend the money, the flow of the money comes through us, so we want to be good community stewards and help push that forward. It's been excellent to work, you know, with your group for the last 25 years because you've come down and helped drive that. As you know, we've been involved with a lot of companies, and they needed funding that we necessarily maybe could not do, but through your programs could get. So I mean, it's been a good economic driver for jobs and everything in this area, and I know for Antrim Township and Greencastle it's been tremendous.
We see the greater Greencastle community in particular being positioned to experience a lot of growth and development over the next decade.
We're in a great position now with the transportation network to do that. As you say, we have the intermodal coming here at exit 3, we have the 81, the Route 70, the Quad State area is huge. The future of that is going to be even more as we grow and we look at other areas. I think we're in a great place now for that to continue going forward.
If you can imagine the sheer amount of jobs that were lost at the BRAC time period with Letterkenny Army Depot, to backfill those jobs at the Cumberland Valley Business Park, I would say the impact in jobs in Franklin County in the partnership between FCADC and LIDA has probably grown very well in the last decade. We started off relatively slow and new industries have come to our area. Supportive industries to the Letterkenny Army Depot have come to the area. In sheer numbers, probably around 1,500 jobs have been created with the redevelopment of the business park. We are very dependent on the Letterkenny Army Depot. Very important to our community, our region as a whole. So we need to be watching the pulse of mission changes and growth. And I believe our community has the resiliency to take this effect on us, and we've done it before, we've done it in the past. We're strong, diverse, and I think that we can weather these economic storms.
The FCADC is one of our biggest fans here in the depot. You guys are very proactive in going out and engaging different companies to come and do work here on the depot. The 3 million man hours, direct labor hours, equates to approximately 2,900 depot employees.
The last several years, the depots received recognition both within the Army and independently. You've won some environmental awards, you've won some shingle awards. Talk to me about some of the things that happened.
Well, the environmental awards, that goes back to being a good neighbor. You cannot have an industrial site the size of Letterkenny with the complexity of things that we've got going on here and not take care of the good earth that the good Lord's given us. The Shingle Award, Business Week magazine refers to that as the Nobel Peace Prize of Manufacturing. We've won that 6 times in the last 6 years.
FCADC provides small business loans for agriculture and for farmers in general, whether it's for equipment or expansion of equipment buildings, or even helping to purchase another farm or land.
FCADC is extremely important to help guide and mentor some of the businesses.
Count of 3. 1, 2, 3, push. Got it.
A lot of times, a small business, if they're new to the business or new to a business, they may not have all of the savviness to really know where to get the funding or the support to get up and running.
Because of our relationship with Franklin County Development Corporation, I had more confidence. I think every business person needs somebody, and somebody that they can just use as a sounding board.
Do you ever cook at home?
No.
Gish logging is really one of the remarkable stories from the FCADC experience over the last 25 years. How much wood do you guys handle on an average year?
If you put it into cordage terminology, we handle 14 to 16,000 cords annually, full cords. By '89, we're recognized as the largest producer of cotton split wood in the country. And ever since then, you were a big part of our growing prior to that, but that just threw us into another level where you really stepped in with some much larger monies, and we've grown from there.
We started in a really small facility on Bullet Road, and we produced trailers out of there for approximately 4 months, and we came to Franklin County to find a facility for us. And you and a few other people at Franklin County Area Development chose to build a facility directly for us on Wharf Road. We moved into the Wharf Road facility in 2003 into 30,000 square feet that you built for us. And then in 2006, we expanded into 60,000 square feet, and that's where we are today.
That was a real growth time for us back in the late 80s and throughout the 90s. It was a growth time for us. Our business expanded, our need for employees expanded, and Franklin County Area Development Corporation was a big part of that through lending, some low interest financing, and just supplying needs that we needed at the time. The potential that I think is available over the next couple of years with what might be coming with Norfolk Southern, the Atapco property down off of Exit 3, those opportunities are just endless.
The economy is what drives everything, whether it's in healthcare or otherwise. We believe the stronger the economy, the stronger healthcare is for people. And that's been our philosophy since I've been here, and well, your organization for the time that I've been here, the 22 years that I've been here, and of course we know it's 25 years now, is a driver, a constant driver, and you in particular, right? Without saying more than I should, but you in particular are a driver of making that economic development happen with a combination of local initiatives and then getting the state involved. Actually what we have behind us are 2 towers. Price of this is approximately $72 million, which is extraordinarily competitive in today's marketplace for construction. And we're creating, at the same time, a lot of jobs for folks who need them, particularly in the last couple of years with a recession in our area. And this building will be around a lot longer than Mike and I will be around.
You know the political side of economic development as well as the business side. It would be easy for you to focus on Chambersburg, and you don't do that. You get around to the big and the small. You also don't focus on just the big companies and their needs. You help the small companies. It's good you're there. You're good cheerleaders for us. You're good matchmakers for us, and workforce development is a great thing. That'll help us get started on our next 50 years.
Education is the foundation of economic development. That's where our workers are going to come from. They're going to learn the values that are going to make them productive employees regardless of what their chosen professions are. The only way we're going to be able to make Franklin County better is we're going to have a workforce that is trained and prepared, and to that point we're going to need all of our educational institutions at the public school level, at the post-secondary level, at the Career and Technology Center. They're going to all have to be working in tandem because with our future rests with them.
When I look at what you and FCADC have been able to do over the last 25 years with economic development in the community and bringing new industry to the community, it's been so important to Franklin County and surrounding areas. And being in partnership with the Franklin County Career and Technology Center, I believe that there's three words that are synonymous with one another, and that is career and technical education, workforce education and development, and economic development.
On-the-job training, classroom training, that's key. That's focused right now for all of our industries here in Franklin County, be it advanced manufacturing, healthcare, logistics, transportation, construction, IT, retail. Training is key. Training is important.
There's been tremendous activity in Shippensburg over the last couple of years. We've seen the expansion of Volvo and the continued expansion of Volvo. We've seen the growth of the university.
That's right.
We've seen
That's right.
JLG in the area. We've seen Schreiber Foods with their growth.
Development's all about relationships. People make things happen.
When you look behind us and see the corn and folks see that farmland going away, there's no one more committed to ag preservation than the Franklin County Area Development Corporation. That said, the area where we're situated is all zoned by Southampton Township for industrial growth. Agriculture will still be preserved in the township.
Absolutely, and because when you design a business park like this, close to the interstate, you actually have less impact on agriculture because you don't have to build roads and infrastructure out into the country, which literally then takes away from ag preservation. This helps ag preservation because it consolidates it right where the traffic is, and it brings it all together.
One of the big things we would always strive for at FCADC board meetings is that we touched all areas of the county with a strong thought to maintaining the fabric of each community. So here we are in Renfrew Park. I mean, it's a perfect setting, beautiful right in Waynesboro, and it's such a gem, and of course enhances the quality of life for everybody in the Waynesboro area. And I applaud FCADC for their work over the last 25 years to make sure that that continues.
FCADC has done a tremendous amount of work over the years. I can attest to the last, since 1986, of just the support in our local community. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been reinvested back into businesses, and whether, again, it's a new business or an expansion. So if that's any inkling of what they do across the county, the benefits are only going to be bigger and better as time moves forward.
I think that the first 25 years that we've seen with FCADC, that we've changed significantly, and to put it in context, we probably have changed at the speed of sound. And I think that the next 25 years will change more at the speed of light. There's not a better place in Pennsylvania, in my opinion, or and arguably in the northeastern United States that has more opportunities for growth and for development than in Franklin County over the next 25 years. Our goal as FCADC is, and I've been like a broken record on this throughout these interviews and in conversations with people, it's important that everyone know that we want our efforts to improve and enhance the quality of life throughout Franklin County. We recognize that it has to be our goal.
We're right on the cusp of what appears to be a breakout from this bad economy, And I know FCADC is right at the forefront of taking those initiatives, develop a workforce so that we'll be ready when the economy starts up again. But I think FCADC's role is going to be really critical, even more critical in the next 25 years, because it's crucial that we maintain the quality of life we have here in Franklin County, because I think that's why people want to come here. There's a lot of other places they could go, but our work ethic and the quality of life have to be maintained. And FCADC, I think, is the tool that we need to bring in those quality jobs, to bring in those quality business that'll help us not only to have full employment, but also the quality of life we've been so used to in the past.
BizJournal.com, which is a national publication, came out with an article earlier this year that identified the Chambersburg Micropolitan Statistical Area, which incorporates all of Franklin County, as one of the 12 micropolitans in the country to watch. Given the fact that we are on the national radar right now, we're going to get a lot of attention, and we just need to make sure that we manage the opportunities to make it a better place.
I believe that the impact will be important and favorable out into the future. I think we will still be here doing the very same thing we're doing now, trying to promote the local economy and promote it in a way that it's well-rounded and is beneficial to the community as a whole.